Hello. All right. In today's video, we're going to be going over some data that might be painful to some and it might be pleasurable to others. We're going to be going into St. Lucie, Martin, and Palm Beach County condos under 500,000, and we got some buyers markets going on that might create some pain for sellers, but we got opportunities potentially for those buyers. So let's dig into the data right now. We have, like I showed you here, we have, this is condos, villas, townhomes, all these attached kind of units with an HOA in there. So I want to kind of load those all in. Now, you can see we finally got the July numbers out here. So that's 724. The good news is we're starting to see a little bit of movement down, but you can see this incredible ascension of inventory, right? So going all the way back to 723 to July of last year, it was only 338 units on the market in St. Lucie County, those condos, villas, and townhomes. And right now, well, as of July of this year, we had 747. So pretty much a doubling of the inventory, similar to the one that I did last week on the doubling of inventory of single family homes. However, what's the big difference here is the amount of pendings and closings, which is not absorbing that inventory. And I'll show you the month supply of inventory a little bit later here. But again, we have a doubling of inventory, 747, July 24, July 23, 338. 151, this is the pendings a year ago, and that went down to 112. So that's what's creating this more of this inventory situation. 102 units closed. We had 98 closed. So right around the same closing, just those pendings are down. So it's just not absorbing that inventory. Moving on here. Now this is, I don't want you to get scared here or anything, but we definitely, if you own a condo, and you need to look at the specific area you're in. I never want someone to take this $191 per square foot and say you own a condo, villa, or townhome in Port St. Lucie, St. Lucie County. I don't want you to say, hey, this is worth $191 a square foot. But I do want you to look at what the general trend here is going from left to right down. So that is value. So if you own a condo or villa in there, you probably, from this time last year at least, 723, it was $203 a square foot. It went down to 191 just a year later. And again, sometimes when they bounce around, you still can have an appreciation. But a year over year, I'm going to say you probably have lost money. But if you're not selling the property, it doesn't matter. So you can just hang on. But if you're that buyer out there, and I'm going to show you a graph here later, we can show you that a buyer's market that you're in. So we did want to show you this as well. So this is the big spike here. This is days on market. So that's 96 days on market. That's significantly up. Now, here's the deal. We also have condos, villas, and townhomes have a propensity to be a second home. And when you get towards, I've talked about in other videos, the seasonality that we see. And, you know, we're in this kind of getting into third quarter. It's hot outside. It's Florida. People up north that are thinking about a second home, they're not thinking about Florida right now. So that's not uncommon that you see that rise in the days on the market. But I do want you to be aware that as that more inventory is coming on the market and we're seeing prices start to drop, right? Because they're getting on average 91% of their original listing price to sale price, 724. If we come over here to 723, again, it's 58 days on the market rather than 96 days on the market. And also they were getting 94% of the original listing price to sale price. And when you come back over here to 724, you're getting 91. So it's 3 less percent original listing price to sale price. So these are numbers that we definitely want to pay attention to. I don't want to alarm anybody, but I think this is important too. We saw this incredible, so 723, you know, this time last year was just barely in a neutral market. We look over here at 724, it's at 7.3. So that's, again, more than doubling, and you're in a buyer's market under 500,000 with condo, villa, or townhome. And again, it's going to depend. If you're on the ocean, if you're, you know, a villa, then you're in PGA Village, you might not be in a buyer's market. You're going to have, this is putting all of that together. But It is kind of alarming, and what we can see here as a general trend, we did have a couple of, into that end of first quarter and into second quarter, we certainly saw a mildly neutral market. That being said, it spiked back up in June and July. So it did come down a little bit in July, which is good. So overall, you are in a buyer's market in that condo villa townhome under 500,000. So I didn't even want to do, I'll do in later videos what we're looking at for this like luxury properties, or say something in the condo villa townhome over 800,000 or over $1 million or between 800,000 and 1.5. I can do that, and those numbers are going to be different. So moving on, let's go to Martin County here. And as we look, this is the same data, condos, villas, townhomes, so forth. Now remember, Martin County is a much smaller county. So we had 209 that came on the market, well, they didn't come on the market, that are on the market. They could have been come on the market months and months and months ago. So 209 units under 500,000. We only had 25 pendings and we had 40 closings. Look back over here to 723, a year back. It was 101 on the market. So again, the inventory has doubled. And to that matter, we had 45 pendings that month. You have 25 pendings, so you have half as many pendings. Now you do have right around the same amount of closings. So we had 40 closings, and in 723, 44. So that's pretty close. But the pendings, look at those pendings going down from 60, had a peak at 620, 61 and 424, 46, 40, 25. That is going down. So those pendings are going down. Luckily, we're not seeing the inventory rise because it looks like people just are deciding not to put their properties on the market. So pay attention to this, but it does look like we've leveled off, which gives me some hope for those folks. I just would like to see them in a neutral market, but you'll see. Now, what you can see here is that you didn't really lose money, or I guess, the appreciation is what we're talking about, and you only lose or win when you sell, and when you buy, you also can win. If people say, you make your money when you buy, and this is kind of a buyer's market. But I do want you to look at this. It stayed pretty level. Now we got 724. That's at $247 a square foot. If we go over here to 723, it's 236. So there's been a mild appreciation. If we just went year over year, it looks like it bounces around a little bit, but it's staying pretty static. But not bad. So Martin County is a little different from St. Lucie County. Now, if we look down here, again, at the average days on market and the original listing price to sale price. So much lower than St. Lucie County, 57. Now, we had an 86 over here, but, these last couple of months, it was actually, 57, 64. But if we look over here at 723, 63 days on the market. So actually less days on the market. It's really interesting how we can have a doubling of the inventory and days on the market goes down. But, that's what it is, what it is. So if we look over here at 623, that was at 53, 624, 64. We do want to see the original listing price to sale price. We're still healthily in the 90 percentile. So it was at 92% of the original listing price to sale price here in 724, and if we go over to 723, it was 90. So it actually went up a little bit. So looking pretty good for Martin County. Nothing, dramatic as far as, I would just say the inventory doubling is the only dramatic thing we're looking at, but not prices dropping or days on the market spiking or anything like that. This will show us here, of course, our days, our month supply of inventory. We know that under 3 months is seller, between 3 and 6 is neutral, and then over 6 months of inventory is that buyer's market. Now, it shows us we're in a neutral market, but we're trending up. So we really were we've been in a neutral market here. We went into a buyer's market briefly in November of last year. Snowbirds came into town and did absorb some of that inventory. We leveled off through the summer, and then not surprisingly kind of going up here into third quarter with those typical, second home type things. So, but do look back here from 724, we had 5.2 months of inventory. July 23, we had 2.3. So more than double of the inventory again. The good news is, again, the price per square foot stayed pretty level, went up a little bit. Days on market, pretty much the same, right around that 50 or so. So Martin County, condos, villas, townhomes, you're looking at that neutral market, but just kind of peeking up into potential buyer's market. So stay tuned to that. Moving over to Palm Beach County, much larger county, obviously. So we had 5,059 units on the market in July. We had 876 go under agreement, and we had 764 sales. If we look back, always going back a year, 723, 2,583, a doubling again, just under a doubling of inventory, 923 pendings. We had over here 876, so that's gone down. Pendings have gone down. We had 912 units close in July of 23. We had 764 close in July of 24, so that's down. So inventory up, pendings down, closings down. So what does that all mean? Let's make sure we take a look at our price per square foot. Staying pretty level, but if we were to look at 724, 233, 723, 230, pretty much the same. And you can see it did go up a little bit, then kind of crept back down. We had that weird month there in June where it looks like things really dipped, but looks like it came back pretty strong here in July. So moral of the story is you're pretty level as far as not losing value. Again, if you're thinking about selling, you really need to look at your specific area, and that's more of a comparative market analysis, not a macro analysis of the whole area. But we want to just give you an idea of what's going on in the general market. That's why we do this. So moving on here to our days on market and the original listing price to sale price. Days on market, you can see a nice trend, or I don't know, we call it nice. We can see a distinct trend of going up, right? So if we're over here at 723, 51 days on the market, we go over here to 724, 65 days on the market. So that days on market is going up, no question. It's not just a bump around. I mean, we had a little one down here, but that gradual move up for days on the market. And again, not uncommon for days on the market to go up for second homes, which condos, villas, townhomes typically can be. Now, moving down, or moving up rather, sideways, whichever way we want to describe this, we got 91% of the original listing price, the sale price, in July. Now, if we move over here to July of 23, we had 94, so that's down 3%. And we can see that stuck pretty much 94%, and then it just started dipping right around first quarter. And it's gone down here to 91, but the last 3 months were 91% of the original listing price, the sale price. So healthy, but as that inventory goes up and as those days in the market go up, I would anticipate that this original listing price to sale price is going to come down. We'll see. Let me know in later videos if I'm wrong. All right, so moving here, lastly, to our month supply of inventory. And technically, we're in a buyer's market. You're in a buyer's market in Palm Beach County for those second homes, those condos, villas, townhomes. And you were in June. You were 6.5. And then you were in a pretty high neutral market, 5.6, 5, 5.1 on the upper end of that neutral market. And you had a couple of buyer's markets back in first quarter of this year. Now, looking over here at 723, 2.8 months. It was in a seller's market a year ago. Now we're in a buyer's market at 6.6. All right, so what does all of this mean? And what I started thing off with, it might be a little painful for some sellers if you own a condo, villa, or townhome in any of these counties. Some of them are healthily or are well into a buyer's market, and then you have Martin County that's just kind of on the edge of that. If you're a seller, don't fret. If you can hold on, it's not a big deal. This is going to shake itself out. Now, the pleasure, what I was talking about, is a pain or pleasure kind of thing. Now, if you have to sell, there might be a little pain involved. Yeah, you might have actually, if you bought within the last 1.5 years, 2 years especially, you might lose a little bit of money. If you are paying interest on a loan or something like that, you can look at it as a write-off and so forth. But yeah, the pleasure of what I was talking about is this is what opportunity looks like. This is, they say, it's the toughest thing to do though, because you see fear. It's like the stock market going down here on Monday, 1,000 something points, and then it's back up. So if you'd see when the fear was people selling, that's the time to buy. And if you folks know out there, you buy in a buyer's market and you sell in a seller's market. You do the Warren Buffett, you buy fear and you sell greed. So it would have been a great time to sell at the kind of the tip of COVID and then buy right now. Well, a lot of people don't, have the ability to move around that much and so forth, but there are some that actually play this game quite well. My point all in this is that there is some potential pleasure for somebody out there that is looking for an opportunity. These are buyer's markets. So these are the times you can go out and make deals. These are the times where people are like, yep, I have to sell. I know it's under what, the market has been, but I just have to sell right now. I got to move for school or a job or whatever. And so these are the opportunities for you buyers out there. Now, always know that these are general numbers. If you have a specific area that you're looking at, that you own a unit, and you are thinking about selling, don't get scared by this data that I'm showing you here. You might have actually been in an appreciating market, like I mentioned in Port St. Lucie and PGA Village. If you own one of those small condos that you can rent out both sides, those are doing super well. So you really need to take a really close look at the specific area that it is that your unit is in, and then overlay that too with this, because say you're in a $300,000 range, you're going to want to look at, hey, somebody's out here under 300,000, a buyer, are they looking at a lot of inventory? And you still are going to need to price right. So hopefully that's helpful, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you.